Okay, part 2, April 11th, distance healing. You've been taxing your physical heart with unnecessary stress. Your lower vibrational friends are part of this problem. They think they're where you are because they think it's all just image, that everyone is faking as much as they are. They think that they are every bit as guru / yoga / spirit / om-like as you. No, let them go. And when I say that they're faking, it's not that they're faking. It's not like they're trying. They just think that this is normal. So healing kind of goes like this. It's like you're clearing away all the crap that's not you, and you're also being asked to live a deeper, more genuine existence. So it's not that these people are fake. Like I don't think anyone would meet them and say that they're fake. They're just not deep. And they're more like the people that are like, oh, I like those earrings, I like your shirt, let's go on a trip to India. Someone said, or I read somewhere a long time ago, like, how can you tell an enlightened something about what does an enlightened person wear to a formal ball? And the answer is like, it doesn't matter, or whatever they want to. So there's just no, your spirit's calling you to just go really deep and live Zen existence and not be so concerned about the external world dictating. That's what it is. The fakeness is really about they allow to a larger degree than you even now. They allow the external world to dictate their actions and their behaviors. So it's not coming from inside out. It's from outside in, and it's not bad, and it doesn't make them fake, but it is like more of an image type of thing for them than it is for you. Okay. And then I felt this little thought coming from a very little place, like when you called yourself, I'm a baby. There was this little energetic thought of, why can't I meet someone? And it's because you're around lower vibrational people. It feels good to your ego because you can see and feel the difference. So the ego compares itself. So when you're around lower vibrational people, your ego's like, I'm farther along than they are. Or like, your ego can use enlightenment as a way of like, yeah, I'm more enlightened than that person. Okay, but your spirit and your energy field would like people with your same vibration or higher. Now, it could be someone that wears like ass loads of makeup, that has your same vibration or higher, because she or even he, like there's these guys that they're like really into makeup and they're doing YouTube videos and makeup tutorials. Don't ask me how I know, but they're just in their joy, and so even though they wouldn't be into the same stuff as you, their vibration is the same as yours because this is what makes them joyful. So your spirit wants people in your energy, and your energy field also wants these people with the same vibration or higher. Like I know this woman who vibrates at the same level as me, but she's like seriously religious, like really Bible, Catholic, religious, really. And I listen to her. Her feedback's valuable for me. Now, her life is totally different than mine. We don't believe the same as far as that stuff, but we listen to each other. She listens to me, I listen to her, and we change each other. We expand each other. We shift each other. I'm just feeling into how much I should share about that. So she's incredible. I listen to her and I adore her. The difference between us is like I don't need religion and I don't believe God cares if I swear or if I'm around certain people. She's a real deal Christian, always had a point of view that I want to hear, whether I take her advice or not, I consider it. And I always use part of it. So even though she gives me advice, which I take, I know it's coming from a person who has a completely different life, but I take her advice for me, and then I make it true for me. I like throw it into the, my soul, and my soul's like, yes, use this. This, not so much. No, you don't have to do that. But this is valuable, okay? So just listen to her. So she vibrates at the same level as me, but if you saw us next to each other, you'd be like, wow, like you and her, like really that close, huh? But we do listen to each other. So our conversations give me clarity and always guide me back to myself, and then I find my truth. But I value her input because even though we think differently, she gets me clearer on my own truth. Okay? So her advice, even though some of it I'm like, no, there's enough yes in there that I'm like, I can find my own truth, my own clarity easier because she vibrates the same as me. It is so freaking cool, man. It is so cool. So like, people tend to like gravitate towards people they think share their common interests, but it's really not that. It's really about people that you have the same vibration with. That's what your spirit's like. Let's vibrate at the same level of like love and forgiveness, really. So she and I have the same level of love and forgiveness available to us. We have this ability, the same level, same vibrational level, to love people and forgive people. She uses religion to do it, and I use my own spiritual, and the biggest light and all that. So I just do it a different way, but we still vibrate at the same level. And this is where you're moving into. So you want to meet someone, but you really want to meet someone that's the same vibrational level as you. They may not be into the stuff you're into, though. So you're shaking yourself out of the old paradigm of, I need to find someone with common interests, blah, blah, blah. It's really not like that. You need to meet someone with the same vibrational level, same ability of love and forgiveness, and that's awesome. Okay, we'll talk about that. You're hanging around with people that may seem like you or that have similar interests, but you'd be better off with a relationship like what I have with this woman. Same vibration, totally different lives. I don't know what I was saying here. Something about same vibration. And then I saw apples in your heart. So I was working in your heart, just clearing out all the stuff that you were holding on to, because your heart was open for me. Chasey, come here. Anyway, so I saw these apples, and then it was like so much love, and I wondered if you had a grandmother with an apron with apples on it. I sort of felt like I was in a kitchen, and you were little, and there was an apron. So anyway, I want to talk to you about apples, heart, and then apron, grandmother with an apron. I have one dog on one side, one dog on the other. Okay. You hanging with lower vibrational people make you question and not trust your own heart. You want Zen. And there's no people necessary for that. And then the Melaleuca was like you were being cleansed and sterilized, like a hospital, and then, it feels so good. No people. Like a freshly weeded and dead-headed garden, and then you keep it up. Melaleuca is like a disinfectant. Stress and tension in the body, pull that weed and let it go. Stressful victim or hero story playing in your head, cut that dead flower blossom off, send the growth back to the roots of the plant, and carry on. Just like my perennial bed, there's always work to do. So my perennial flower bed, that's the same as inside. To stay Zen, there's always something that can be released. You aren't doing it wrong just because there's crap to get rid of. Noticing the crap and getting rid of it is the process. That's the journey. Yay, a weed to pull. Okay, so your spirit desires Zen. Zen, Zen, Zen. So I'm going to read from this book, Zen, by Osho, who's like one of the most amazing human beings to ever walk the planet. And I'm just going to read this little piece of this book. So I don't know if you know the beginnings of Zen, where the Buddha just sat quietly and everyone's waiting for him to speak. and then didn't say anything. And then after, I don't know how long, but I'm sure it's in this book somewhere, someone laughed, and the Buddha smiled and gave that person a flower. Okay? And this goes along with staring at a dandelion for 2 hours. Okay, I'm going to read you this from the book. We'll finish with this. If you look at Japanese and Chinese paintings of Buddha, they don't look like the Indian Buddha. They've changed him totally. If you look at Indian paintings of Buddha, his body's proportionate, as it should be. He was a prince, then a Buddha, a beautiful man, perfect proportionate. A big-bellied Buddha, he never had a big belly. But in Japan, in his paintings and his scriptures, he's painted with a big belly because a man who laughs must have a big belly. Belly laughter. How can you do it with a small belly? And then also, this isn't in this book, but the belly and his ears are long too, because that's in meditation. You like grow. I say breathe big belly, and then also your ears grow because you're just so relaxed. And there is some meditation disciplines where you let your ears hang and grow and sag and grow, and your nose also, but they didn't want to make him look like an elephant, so they just did the ears and the big belly. Okay. Belly laughter. How can you do it with a small belly? You cannot do it. They are joking with Buddha, and they have said such things about Buddha. Only very deep love can do that. Otherwise, it looks insulting. The Zen master Bankai always insisted. This is the person that got the flower. Always insisted on having a painting of Buddha hanging behind him, and talking to his disciples, he would say, "Look at this fellow. Whenever you meet him, kill him immediately. Don't give him a chance. While meditating, he will come to disturb you. Whenever you see his face in meditation, just kill him then and there. Otherwise, he will follow you." And he used to say, "Look at this fellow. If you repeat his name," because Buddhists go on repeating, "Namo Buddhaya, Namo Buddhaya." If you repeat his name, then go and wash your mouth. This statement seems insulting. It is Buddha's name. And Bankai says, if you repeat it, the first thing to do is wash your mouth. Your mouth has become dirty. But he is right, because words are words. Whether one is the name of Buddha or not makes no difference. And I just did the Sunday healing, on Sunday. I think it was the 8th, April 8th, that we did the live stream one on April 8th. The person's highest potential future self came and said, what is the difference? Because she's afraid to change her life. What is the difference if you're on your friend's couch crying tears because you blew up your life, or you keep living the life that you're living now and you hold those tears inside as you're in your nice kitchen? What is the difference? Tears are tears. You can cry them on your friend's couch after you change your life and move on, or you can keep them inside and hold on to them, pretend that everything's fine. And so it was like, what is the difference? So this is the same, and the Tao says a lot of this stuff too, but it says, it's basically like, you say a word is a word. It doesn't matter if it's a good word or a bad word, and the Tao always talks about not judging, and I say plenty of that in other videos. Okay. Words are words. Whether one is the name of Buddha or not makes no difference. Whenever a word crosses your mind has become dirty. Wash out even Buddha's name. And this man, keeping the portrait of Buddha always behind him, would bow down to it every morning. So his disciples asked, disciples, this person's from India. Osho is an enlightened master in India, so don't get all tweaked with the words that, got translated. So his disciples asked, "What are you doing? You go on telling us to kill this man, not to allow him to stand in the way. You say don't take his name. Don't repeat it. If it comes to you, wash out your mouth. And now we see you bowing down to him." Bankai said, "All this has been taught to me by this fellow, so I have to pay him respect." And then Mahakashap laughed, and his laughter carried many dimensions within it. In the second dimension, laughter at the foolishness of the whole situation, at the Buddha silent and nobody understanding him, everybody expecting him to speak. His whole life, Buddha had been saying that the truth cannot be spoken, and still everybody expected him to speak. And in the Tao it says, the Tao that can be spoken is not the true Tao. In the second dimension, he laughed at Buddha also, at the whole dramatic situation he had created, sitting there with a flower in his hand, looking at the flower, creating so much uneasiness and restlessness in everybody. At this dramatic gesture of Buddha, he laughed and he laughed. The third dimension was to laugh at his own self. Why couldn't he understand before now? The whole thing was easy and simple, and the day you understand, you will laugh too, because there is nothing to be understood. There is no difficulty to be solved. Everything has always been simple and clear. How could you miss it? With Buddha sitting silent, the birds singing in the trees, the breeze passing through, and everybody restless. Mahakashyap understood. What did he understand? He understood that there is nothing to be understood. There is nothing to be said. There is nothing to be explained. And the whole situation is simple and transparent. Nothing is hidden in it. There is no need to search because all that is here and now within you. He laughed at his own self also, at the whole absurd effort of many lives just to understand this silence. He laughed at so much thinking and calling themselves babies. He laughed at you. He laughed at you calling yourself a baby. Buddha called him, gave him the flower, and said, "Hereby I give you the key." What is the key? Silence and laughter are the keys. Silence within, laughter without, which is on the outside. And when laughter comes out of silence, it is not of this world. It is divine. Come here, Chase. Come here, come here. When laughter comes out of thinking, it is ugly. Come here, Payne. It belongs to this ordinary, mundane world. It is not cosmic. Then you are laughing at somebody else, at somebody else's cost, and it is ugly and violent. Okay. When laughter comes out of silence, you are not laughing at anybody's cost. You are simply laughing at the whole cosmic joke. The dogs have a dog door, by the way, but they have me trained. All right. So, your spirit desires Zen, and you can do it, otherwise it wouldn't have come. So, congratulations. And I love you. I love you, love you, love you. And I can't wait to see you. So, get your questions ready. Just awesome. And, so, keep going and be a renegade yogi with me above all the spectrums. I love everybody. I love the pro-life. I love the pro-choice. I love everyone on that spectrum. But I'm not on the spectrum. I'm above there. And then I love all the Republicans and all the Democrats, but I'm not on that spectrum. But I love them. And I love all these people and the people who oppose them, But I had to remove myself from all the spectrums because fighting is just, because I don't understand, I wasn't enjoying the fighting. I didn't understand it. But when I tried to understand the fighting, when I tried to understand the fighting, and when I tried to stop the fighting, when I tried to go to the middle of the spectrum and tell this side what the other side was thinking and why this side felt like this, and tell them why this side felt like this, I used my energy inappropriately. I used my energy in the fight. I was on the spectrum, and even though I was in the middle of the spectrum trying to make both sides see that they're not really fighting over the same, they're not fighting the other. So each imports motive. I heard this expression, imports motive. And so, oh, if you vote this way, you're a good person. So anyone who doesn't vote this way is a bad person. So I don't even need to listen to them because they're all bad. And then, so I understand it, and I love them anyway. And they're like, la la la. And so there's all different, there's echo chambers for every single spectrum that exists. And there's so many spectrums. And we can't, we can't judge the fighting. is anything we judge, we attach our energy to. So we cut all your cords to, you know, other people and situations. And so watch what comes out of your mouth, and even a thought. Your thoughts are energy too. So even though you may not say it out loud, if you're thinking something, you find yourself thinking something, there's still energy there. And then check that, and become aware of it, and just keep track. So if you have a journal, you can just write down the thoughts that you become aware of. And like, you're right on track, man. You're just awesome. But we should hang out. I need to, you know, answer any questions. I want to go into more detail on some of this stuff. So I'm going to keep this notebook, but you have it all in one place, or two places, two videos. And I love you, love you. You're a good girl. Zen baby.